Today we're going to be talking about the newest Pokemon game, and just to increase the retention a little bit, let me give you guys my moist critical impression on what I think his thoughts are on this game. This game looks like it was rendered in a microwave. I've seen Roblox maps with more detail. I think Game Freak's being owned by Team Rocket now because this game is seriously a scam. Alright, with that out of the way, let me give you my actual thoughts about this game. It's terrible. And it sucks because the track record for Pokemon games on the Switch just keeps getting worse compared to the older consoles. I'd say I usually give Pokemon games a fair shot, and I'm not some 40-year-old dude online who hates everything, but man is this game rough. The textures are missing, and the world has zero depth, and it all takes place in one city, and it's not even a good city. It's like if the next Pokemon game was based in Houston, Texas. It's just copy and pasted houses in every direction. And the worst part is, we know that the Switch 2 can handle more than what it's giving us. Pokemon Legends ZA uses the same Wild Zone mechanics as Sword and Shield. And that game actually looked good. I mean, just look at the differences in these screenshots. It's honestly baffling that Game Freak can release a game that looks this bad. Like Scarlet and Violet were already rough, but this looks like a PS1 game. And the graphics aren't even the only issue. Now, I get not introducing new Pokemon. I actually think that's the right call. Because if you look at Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, yeah, they were pretty rough. But what are these mega Pokemon? Game Freak, we need to sit down. We need to have a talk. What the hell is this? Why does this one look like sexy Patrick Star? And we also finally get some love for Raichu after Pikachu's been generationally milked, and he looks straight out of Palworld. Like, I'm starting to understand why Nintendo sued them so hard. And what are up with Raichu's arms? They look like two pills that have been hot glued to his arms. Or you know what else it looks like? It looks like those cartoon characters when they're fully wrapped up in bandages and they can't move. Like, whatever, dude. Like, I don't hate all the Mega Pokemon. Let's get that out of the way. I think there are some good ones. I like the new Electros. I would even say the Kalos starters are pretty good. I even like Dragalge. But even then, Dragalge and like a lot of these new Pokemon just follow this weird formula where they just stick something out of their head and call it a new Pokemon. They just put wings on top of Dragonite's head, a log over Zygarde, and gave Pyroar a bad hair day. And do not even get me started on Feraligatr. I do not care if it's meant to look like a Totodile with its mouth closed. It doesn't. It looks like a big Totodile that's been disabled and lost both its arms. Like, maybe he can borrow Raichu's huge-ass Mighty Bean arms. But, like, this is not a Mega Pokemon. This looks like those kids in elementary school with the creeper, Minecraft creeper hoodies that have, like, the weird hood on them that zip all the way up. That's what this reminds me of, because it just looks off, and it looks stupid. This game also introduces new game mechanics, and they're just all so bad. Game Freak just doesn't understand their audience. Pokemon has been around for over 20 years. Like, you'd think that for such a greedy company, they would just make the same game but a little different. But this game has ruined everything that makes Pokemon good. This game completely killed the exploration aspect of Pokemon. I mean, every game since the start of the universe has had a full region with multiple unique biomes that all cater towards certain Pokemon and what, like, environments that they thrive in. I mean, even the New York-based region, the one with a Pokemon made of trash, still had multiple biomes and wilderness in it. This one is just a giant city. I seriously think Skate 4 has more trees than this game. I mean, hell, Pokemon Go is more exploration than this game. And I only play that game when I go to the gym or I'm at work. And I'm about to sound so old, but this new battle mechanic is terrible. Who thought it would be a good idea to make League of Legends in Pokemon? Actually, Pokemon did. They made Pokemon Unite, and that's literally just... Anyway, this is just as bad. Whether it's the old games, the anime, or the TCG, Pokemon has always and forever should be a turn-based game. I think creating this alternative is so much worse, too. Because not only is this battle mechanic not good, it's probably the laziest way to do an interactive real-time battle. It is the same game mechanics as a raid on Pokemon Go on my iPhone. Like, it's not good, and it's not unique, and it's not hard to do. Like, no one should be praising this new game mechanic. I honestly wish Sun and Moon and Sword and Shield just didn't hold your hand as much and give you a fucking cutscene every 5 seconds. Because they would have actually made a name for themselves, instead of just being hated. They had good environments, a fun exploration, and they both like gave stuff to spice up the game that was also cool and funny. Like you had Gigantamax Charizard, which looked badass, but you also had the silly Gigantamax Pikachu, and you had like Z moves like Z Splash. Like the games were just like more fun. I also think the open world games are just overrated anyway. Everyone wants freedom, but it just turns into a bunch of side quests that you have to do. I think it's really hard to do a good open world game. I think when a good open world game is made, it's amazing. But I don't think Pokemon has it in their cards to be testing their luck with open world stuff right now. Sometimes it's better to just give your games some more structure, because then everything's more intentional and it's a more polished game. I mean, look at Sword and Shield. It was probably the closest thing we've gotten to a great recent Pokemon game. With the fun mechanics, like I already mentioned, that don't take themselves too seriously. They had a cool boss, nice scenery, solid wild Pokemon interactions, and a raid system that was actually pretty fun. Also, the battle animations were just way better. I truly believe that Game Freak actually gave a shit when creating Sword and Shield, because there was a chance that Pokemon wouldn't be able to make the transition over to the new audience on Switch. But once they realized that they still held their old fans by the balls, gripping them, they just based every new game on saying what they thought would maximize their profits. Whether it's Pokemon, but it's an open world game, or Pokemon, but it's in the past, or Pokemon, but we brought back Mega Pokemon. Like, all of these are just like Game Freak and Nintendo trying to give us what they think we want without actually having to put in the effort that's required to make the games that we want. Me personally, I'm not going to buy this new Pokemon game. I'm not going to support a company that's not going to support its fans. And I really think you guys should consider not supporting these people either. Guys, if we get 17 million more followers, I'll pass Charlie. So we just got to get to 17 million